I play the emotion Disgust, and she is very hierarchical and wants to keep Riley from doing things that will embarrass her or will put her at some kind of disadvantage. She's kind of an adolescent emotion.
I'm Fear, and Fear's kind of we would describe him as middle management kind of guy, you know, just very wanting to be control, wanting to be in charge, but just not having the capacity for it. Well, there's Joy that Amy Poehler plays, which is wonderful. Joy is very much like Amy in real life. And then, you know, Sadness, played fantastically, am I saying that right? By Phyllis Smith, and she's wonderful. And then I spend most of my time with Disgust and Anger, played by Lewis Black, who's unreal. And he punches me in the face a lot. And I just met Lewis, so that's how weird these projects are, where you sit, you work on them, and you know, you're paired together or whatever, and then you just met. Well, it's kind of when you're an adolescent. I think the idea is like when you're an adolescent and you are in that, you're kind of ruled by fear, disgust, and anger. I mean, that pretty much describes adolescent kids, you know. And so it was this idea of Joy and Sadness being kind of like, you know, they have their own little buddy movie outside of it, but they have to kind of, because like in every buddy movie, it's two opposing ideology, you know, people, opposites together, like in Midnight Run or whatever, and they have to learn to coexist. And the movie's about fear and sadness having to coexist, which is kind of what being an adult is. I mean, that's a big learning thing growing up, you know?
Absolutely.
And so that's kind of why these guys are geniuses, because they figured that out.
They had to really create a world, and I think that Up was so brilliant and was not anything anyone's seen. It wasn't based on any trope. It was completely original, and there's so little that is completely original. And you know, having seen that and loved it, and then Pixar, you know, having such a sterling reputation, I mean, I was very excited about it. And I have to say, when I read the script, I did not understand a lot of it. I had to wait till I saw the movie to understand what like islands of personality were. So, but I never doubted it for a second that they would figure it out.
No, those guys are they're kind of just geniuses at just honing in on what's. It's like a balance act and Pete is incredibly ambitious with his ideas, and he's like a real artist, you know. It's like a very emotional thing for him that he gets wrapped up. It's just like a big expression for him, you know. But, you know, instead of it being like a Jackson Pollock painting or something, it's you know, inside out. It's kind of one of these films like Up or whatever. He gets excited about an image or a feeling he has or whatever. And he just, he works hard at expressing it, you know? And he isn't someone that overanalyzes things, or you kind of go, well, you know, the rules of screenwriting is this or whatever. It's just how he feels and goes, that feels right. I don't know if that feels, you know, he says that feels is always something I hear Pete say, that feels a little this way, that feels a little that way. Oh, that feels good. Ooh, that, you know. Right. And that goes with your performance or a color or, you know, a piece of, you know, whatever.